A new law will help researchers better understand Parkinson's disease across the state of Florida. The state created the Parkinson's registry earlier this year, and it requires doctors to report certain information to the Parkinson's disease registry. The Parkinson's Association says that Florida has one of the highest prevalence of Parkinson's in the entire country, with nearly 80,000 people living with the disease. It says this registry helps better understand where people with Parkinson's are and could better tailor care.
What the registry is about is information, helping to better understand how many people in the state have Parkinson's, where those people live, so that we can identify any patterns or see where there might be more services needed in the state.
And the Parkinson's Foundation says it would like to see lawmakers also continue to fund Parkinson's research. They'll decide that during a special session next month.